Liam Neeson, born June 7, 1952 in Ballymena, Northern Ireland, is a man whose life story is far more than the roles he's played on screen. Raised in a working-class Roman Catholic family in a predominantly Protestant town, his childhood was one of quiet struggle. His father, Barney, worked hard to make ends meet, while his mother, Kitty, spent long hours cooking for others, always bringing home the scent of scalded hands. Their modest home had 3 rooms and 6 people, with walls thin enough to hear every breath. Despite the harsh conditions, Liam's parents remained resilient, teaching him the value of perseverance. As a young boy, he often kept to himself, preferring solitude over the noise of the world, but his inner strength began to take shape. From those early years of hardship came a quiet resolve that would shape his future. Silence and struggle. The early years. In a house filled with the laughter of his 3 sisters, Liam was often the quiet observer. His words were few, and his presence was one that stayed in the background, but he found refuge in his aunt's kitchen, the only place that seemed to offer warmth and comfort. His father, fearing that silence might consume his son, sent him to the church boxing club at the age of 9. There, amidst the echoes of fists against leather and the smell of sweat, Liam learned not just to fight, but to belong. By 14, he was a youth champion, but that victory would prove bittersweet. In one fateful match, a punch to the head left him dazed and shaken. He walked away from boxing that night, understanding that not all battles are fought in the ring. From Belfast to the stage. At 17, Liam left his small hometown behind, seeking a better life in Belfast. The city, with its cold gray skies, offered little warmth, but Liam was determined. He worked a variety of menial jobs, driving trucks through freezing rain, hauling crates, and shoveling gravel until his hands bled. At night, he returned to a small room, no larger than a prayer, where he dreamed of a better life. University was an aspiration he could not afford. Every penny was accounted for, and hunger often interrupted his studies. By 24, Liam had found work sweeping stages at the Lyric Players Theatre, a job born out of necessity. But it was here, in the darkness of the theater, that his life began to change. He spoke only 2 lines on stage, but it was enough to make him feel seen. For the first time, he felt heard. The turning point. Schindler's List. In 1993, Liam Neeson's life took a dramatic turn when he was cast in Steven Spielberg's Schindler's List. The role of Oskar Schindler, a man who saved the lives of over 1,000 Jewish refugees during World War II, would bring him global recognition and nearly undo him. The film required him to immerse himself in the depths of human suffering, and for 110 days of filming, Liam lived with the guilt and grace of the character. After shooting the devastating liquidation scene, Liam found himself alone in his hotel room, unable to sleep, too shaken to process the weight of what he had just portrayed. The film won 7 Academy Awards, and Liam's performance earned him an Oscar nomination. Yet despite the acclaim, fame amplified his loneliness, and he began to feel the strain of being in the public eye. The struggles behind the success. By 2007, Liam Neeson had established himself as one of Hollywood's most respected actors. His name was synonymous with roles that explored human suffering, and his voice had become a symbol of authority. With a fortune that included properties in New York and the countryside, his success seemed unshakable. Yet behind the cameras, Liam was grappling with the isolation that often accompanies fame. Chronic pain, sleepless nights, and exhaustion became his constant companions. He could no longer escape the physical toll that years of demanding roles had taken on his body. Though he appeared invincible on screen, the truth was that his health was in decline. Fame, which had once lifted him, now pushed him further into solitude. Love and loss. a devastating tragedy. Liam and Natasha's love story was one of quiet joy. They married in 1994, and their home became a sanctuary from the world's chaos. They had 2 sons, Michel and Daniel, who brought light into their lives. Natasha, ever radiant, embraced motherhood with grace, and Liam, who once lived in the shadows, found peace in her love. But in March 2009, their world was shattered. Natasha, while skiing in Montreal, suffered a simple fall that led to a devastating brain injury. Though she initially seemed fine, the headache that followed would prove fatal. Liam, who was filming in Toronto at the time, rushed to be by her side. When he arrived at the hospital, the doctors informed him that her brain had stopped functioning. The woman who had been his anchor, his peace, was gone. Liam sat beside her for hours, whispering words of love and comfort as she lay there, her life slipping away. Grief and healing, moving forward. The loss of Natasha Richardson left Liam Neeson broken. He later confessed, "I think I died that day too, but I kept breathing because she would have wanted me to." Grief, he learned, does not knock. It simply arrives and lingers. In the months following Natasha's death, Liam found solace in work, though it was not a true escape. Films like Taken and The Grey served as outlets for his pain, though the battles on screen were nothing compared to the war inside him. His body, too, had become a battlefield. Years of physical strain from his action-packed roles had left him with chronic pain. His pelvis, shattered in a 2000 motorcycle accident, would never fully heal, and the constant pain became his new companion. Life after Natasha, a new reality. In 2026, Liam Neeson, now 73, lives a quieter life, far removed from the fast pace of Hollywood. His life is no longer about the high-profile roles or the acclaim. Instead, it is about finding peace in the moments that remain. He divides his time between New York and the countryside home he once shared with Natasha. It is here, in the quiet of nature, that Liam feels closest to her. His sons, Michel and Daniel, are grown and pursuing their own paths. Michel, who works in fashion and film, has honored his mother's memory by changing his surname to Richardson, a gesture that Liam finds deeply meaningful. Daniel, the younger of the two, remains close to his father, grounding him in a family that understands the weight of grief. The legacy of Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's legacy is not defined by his vast wealth or the roles that made him a star. His true legacy lies in the way he has lived his life, marked by perseverance, strength, and an unshakable resilience in the face of unimaginable loss. He has built a career that spans over 100 films, but what truly sets him apart is his humanity. Despite the fame and accolades, Liam remains a man who has known profound sorrow, yet continues to rise, quietly enduring. He may have conquered battles on screen, but the true measure of his strength lies in how he has faced the challenges of life with grace and humility. Perhaps that is why people still love him, not because he is indestructible, but because he is not. His strength lies in his vulnerability, his ability to endure, and his refusal to give up.